I do want to get into this draft just because we see them already picking the Camille support. There was the Ziggs hovered, so I am curious to see if they're just like, you know what, it was an execution thing. This still is really strong. Ziggs, again, my opinion is that he's just good. Like, he's way better than the other mages being played in bot lane. By design, I think there's a reason why bot laners were already being asked to play Ziggs or practice Ziggs because he can be so good. He plays a lot like an AD carry. So I'm not surprised to see the Camille Ziggs coming out for FlyQuest, and we'll see if they're going to be able to give another go.
And from DSG side, it's funny because Vi is heavy prioritized around the globe. Like, if you're going against FlyQuest specifically, you're gonna have to ban Nasus to do that. It's the Vi and the Xin Zhao that makes it so difficult to play into, so makes a lot of sense. One thing I want to make a note of, Kai'Sa's been seeing a lot of play in the LPL specifically and gets a lot of mage matchups, so you can get heavy 2v2 priority. These fights will be super in your favor, and guess who is very comfortable on Kai'Sa? It's a Jed. It's one of his most comfortable picks. In his debut split, he heavily played it. So if we're going straight back to comfort, I think DSG is doing the right thing.
And another Shyvana pick for Griffin. It's something he was probably the most prolific Shyvana player in the LCS Spring Split.
Yeah.
Can't go with the Shen into the Vi because it got picked away as a support for DSG. So I am also a big fan of the Kai'Sa Shen combo, but looking forward to seeing Griffin Shyvana once again.
And even just adding the Shen into the mix is going to make things very frustrating, I think, for FlyQuest that actively looks for plays topside, just in general around the map. Just the Shen is always going to be a looming threat. So if you want to make a play topside, just know that Shen ulti, make that timer known. Because I think FlyQuest was moving way too fast in the first series that they played this split. So it's going to be something that's going to be a blocker to a lot of FlyQuest playmaking.
Yeah, I actually really like the Kai'Sa Shen rotation from Disguised because of the comfort you already pointed out, Raz, but in addition, just what Shen is able to do. We see Sylas removed by FlyQuest, and then the Renekton moved by DSG, which is kind of interesting.
I wonder if DSG is aiming to go for an Mbessa pick because it works well with the composition that they have. Jace is already banned, which is one of Surdy's best picks. And I mean, you definitely want to find an angle to dive onto Ziggs when you already have a dive comp with Vi, Kai'Sa, Shen. Like, it works really well here. So surprised that's not banned out by FlyQuest.
Yeah, they can still save a counter pick for top lane, which they can push Surdy into that situation where he has to blind pick.
Yeah.
Probably just pick Quads champion here. Although, if you're putting yourself in a situation where you have to counterpick an AD top, you're a little bit less flexible in your ability to counterpick.
True.
Yeah, so we're just gonna go. Yep.
This combo is
tried and true, baby.
She made it through the second round bans. Also, just honestly a quad classic. This is one of his best champions, something he's super known for playing. On the other side, we have the Galio locked in. So again, another just like Galio, Mbessa, which I expect to see locked in here for Surdy. Just complete dive with honestly a ton of follow-up and protection with the Shen, with the Galio.
Do we have a FlyQuest Volibear in the room? I'm saying that is a really good matchup.
Or just a Gnar. Gnar's basic, it's unbanned.
Yeah.
It's a skill matchup against the Mbessa. It's something that Gakkos was on the losing side of last week, Dokla versus Gakkos.
True. And honestly, no matter what, I just love the composition from FlyQuest. The combo of Shyvana Orianna is just disgusting. The fear that Shyvana has on top of the Ori ball. Aatrox is not bad here. Just saw that last series.
Yep.
Did a lot of good for Denethor in some of those fights. But yeah, there it is. That's going to be an Aatrox lock-in. Honestly, just a lot of just bruisers from the FlyQuest side that I think it will be a little bit difficult to play into some of the playmaking that DSG has. Who do you guys have for this draft?
I mean, I like the DSG side because Sejed is on comfort, and I didn't like Masu's Ziggs. It doesn't go too far beyond that, but that I also see the Galio can be pretty good at stuffing hard engages as well if he can get through the laning phase against Quads Orianna, because I think that's a difficult lane matchups across the board for DSG, but if they get through the early game, I think their team composition scales pretty well.
This Aatrox versus 4 melees is, I think it's a really good Aatrox pick.
Could be really good.
Yeah. But I'm leaning towards the DSG side. Completely agree. Great comfort. Also, really solid direction, I think, that the team has in terms of like playing around Kai'Sa and Ambassa dive. So Ziggs is going to have a really tough time.
Yeah, for me, I'm actually really watching these supports as well. I'm really curious to see Cryogen piloting the Camille and see what his roam timers are compared to DSG.
And I want to see how angry FlyQuest is after getting swept by Armeo. They're going to want to take out all that anger onto DSG. Casters, take it away.
Thank you very much. Going to be getting this game started here pretty quickly. The first game between DSG and FlyQuest, both teams coming off of a winless week 1, didn't even get a game, which was definitely surprising, especially for FlyQuest, going up against Lion, who was without Inspired. They were the favorites coming in. Ended our last split pretty hot and are coming in with a lot higher expectations.
So you're telling me both these teams are hungry, very hungry in summer. Yeah, I mean, FlyQuest.
Some intermittent fasting wins.
FlyQuest, they're definitely unhappy that they didn't start out with a win. But I would also say for DSG, especially that game, they were up 6,000 gold over Shopify, and then they ended up losing too. Those types of ones, when you end up losing those, also just make you really, really, frustrated and looking towards the next series to actually get the wins here. I think for both teams, they're very hungry for these wins and very determined. So I'm excited for this matchup. Always excited for this matchup too, because we do have some like good close relationships between the players that we've went over the last couple times when they were playing. Of course, Sajed and Masu both previously playing under FlyQuest at the same time when Sajed was on Academy team under Masu, and we interviewed him last time, and Masu was like, he's nice about it because Masu's always nice, but he was like, yeah, Sajed's lane phase, it's not the best. We're not worried about it at all. And then he ended up like smashing him in lane also. But this time around, with the entire comp for DSG being like as hard dive as you can possibly go, and Sajed being on his Kai'Sa, some of DSG's best games when they first even joined the LCS were Sajed Kai'Sa. This was the champion that we were popping off for him about because of how well DSG looked when they could get hard dive comps and they could get him on this champion with any amount of, like, even parity in gold. But in those games, I remember him having gold leads as well. So this is definitely a possibility for the understudy to take it back and try and get a dub over Masu, over the guy that was in the starting spot over him. So I want to see if DSG can come out really, really aggressively in game number 1.
Yeah, it should be fun to see. I mean, you talked about the big lead that DSG had against Shopify as well, and I think Surdy on his Zabessa was a pretty big part of that. I feel like he's always performed well on that champion. And when you're talking about bot lane matchups, maybe DSG are feeling a little bit more confident after watching Masu play Ziggs last week against Berserker, because he was kind of struggling on that Ziggs. That was an uncharacteristically very bad game from Masu, I felt like, where he really was getting taken advantage of by Berserker in those 1v1s. Really, even across the Sylas game, he was getting solo killed in both games, but the Ziggs one in particular, he really did struggle on. So it will be interesting to see how they play this out. And there is so much dive. I mean, and it's all pretty much point and click, right? Vi ults on your head, the follow-up from Stand United into Taunt, into Public Execution, into Galio, all, like, everything is there.
I literally think this is the hardest dive that you can draft in, like, meta League of Legends right now.
Without trolling.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like, you can kind of change some things, like if you had support Camille instead of support Shen, but those are very similar anyway. Support Shen is also very good for diving. Obviously, a very good dive buddy, and the dodge zone is also a very, very useful tool. So honestly, yeah, I feel like this is the hardest dive that you can really draft. Every single role is looking for it. So it truly does put it to the test. Like, can you avoid some of the pitfalls for super hard dive comps? Like, if Orianna or Ziggs has Zhonya's and you overcommit into a bunch of AoE, like, the Aatrox, the Ziggs, and the Orianna,
and
Shyvana, like, they all have very good AoE. So you just have to be a little bit cognizant of that. But they definitely can go very aggressive with it when they have access to their ultimates on the side of DSG.
And it feels like your engages have to be really on point. I think that DSG is likely going to have to, get a lead early-ish on, 1-2 items. It feels like a pretty important part of the game. because I feel like with these mages, when you get to 3 items plus, they're probably both going to have a Zhonya's on both the Orianna as well as the Ziggs. And that just makes it so much harder because at that point, you can't rely on just cease and desist Vi to get you an engage. That's going to get Zhonya's. You're going to need to have some sort of Q flash. You're going to need to have a taunt flash, something that they can't react to start it off, which gets so much harder. And then all of the AoE, trying to fight past an Aatrox and a Shyvana who are AoEing you against 4 melee, so they have easy target access. That is also really hard and dangerous. So I think they have a lot of very good tools, but FlyQuest, I think, is really going to be confident if the game goes late, if it goes slow. So they're going to be trying to slow down the pace.
Yeah, definitely agree. And they're also going to be, the one thing I would be worried about for FlyQuest a little bit more is if at the point where they lose their outer towers, is it hard for them to play side lanes? Orianna, one of the biggest weaknesses of this champion, even though it's so strong and often first pick in the meta, is going to be in side lanes. If you have to play side lanes versus Vi, Galio, Shen, Ambessa, all these things, then every minion wave is like an objective for your team to try and figure out a way for you to be able to safely push or safely catch. But that is pretty far in the future when the outer towers, fall. We have quite a long time to determine which team's going to get a nice early lead there, and Raz will be watching closely because it's his match of the week.
He'll be watching closely, and we'll be watching closely so we can judge him on his selection here.
And his clucking. He was doing some clucking at the beginning of the analyst test.
We need a Raz theme song for Match of the Week.
Okay, yeah,
Clucked entirely.
Yeah, clucked by Raz himself.
Clucked by Raz himself.
Get Raz in the recording studio now.
Yeah, exactly. We can drop a beat for him.
Yeah.
He can do the clucking. And we'll see how that goes. There's some trading here early on. Tonk going to be traded in onto Masu, but some nice trading back onto Lions. Thanks to the hookshot coming in there from Cryogen. But we touched on it a little bit. Expectations higher this split for FlyQuest. I talked to ThinkGuard. He was saying he's expecting them to show a higher level of play, and he straight up told me we are making Worlds. I asked him, hey, we had talked at the start of the year. He told me by the end of the year they were going to make Worlds, and I said, hey, is this something you're comfortable with me saying on broadcast? Will you give me a quote? He gave me the quote, and then he straight up typed, we're making Worlds. And so that is the pressure that they are putting on themselves, right? The expectations are now no longer, yeah, we're really trying to develop and get better. It's, no, we're going to be top 3. We're going to go to Worlds.
Yeah, even the players, like Griffin was saying the exact same thing. At the beginning, he was like, yeah, it's nice playing because we don't have super high expectations at the beginning. But even he was like, yeah, by the time it rolls around, we're going to be top 3. We're going to be making Worlds. So now the pressure really does ramp up, as you're saying. And also, as well, just because they have found some level of success, right? The quick improvement of this team and the level of success that they have already shown as they go for some heavy trading in bot lane.
Yeah, Cryogen making really nice use of that hail of blades, being able to get in a lot of those autos, gets the ignite down. Lions is going to be sent back to base, as is Sajed, so things looking pretty good for them across the board, really, here in the lanes thus far. Quad obviously getting Call Me Low. Expected to have the advantage in that 1v1 here early on, and Sajed is playing Teleport, so that is worth mentioning. Knowing that it is going to be a bit of a sustained battle, you're playing Kai'Sa, you're not expecting to dominate, to get push here against the Ziggs and the Camille.
Yeah, definitely. And you have to be pretty careful here on the Shen. Of course, one of the big parts about the Shen into the Camille is getting Spirit's Refuge and blocking those auto attacks. And if you're level 2 and you don't have it yet, then you really have to respect that damage output. So we'll see. Both of the supports, though, offer their roams here. Even level 2, even with the support quests still in effect, they don't care. They're like, whatever, lose a little bit of golden experience, try and affect the map. 1 mid lane and 1 top lane, simultaneous ganks.
Yeah, looking, not going to spend that flash to go for a taunt flash here, and not going to be able to find much of anything on Quad. Lions does get level 3, though, as Cryogen looking just to set up a recall and go down towards bot. We can see Kryra maybe looking for something down on that bot side after his Krugs, and both these bot laners didn't get any potions because they didn't have ideal buys, so poke is going to matter a lot more down there, too.
And I like the idea from both supports. You can tell their thought process. On the side of FlyQuest, they're like, hey, we need Aatrox to be big so that we can have this, God of War, this AoE in our team fights. So we're going to have Camille, Cryogen reset and go out to top lane to try and get their advantage there. And on the other side, as we get the flash on bottom, for DSG, Lions is like, hey, we got to get this Orianna flash down. This is the champion we can punish the most. And so he wanted to go mid and try and make that happen, but they're unable to get either of those goals accomplished from the supports, even though it does make sense the ideas that they had in mind, as you know, the ward on top saw them there, and then the attempt mid as well, not enough pressure.
Yeah, nice attempt there on that flash satchel that Masu was looking for. Cryogen got back down towards bot faster than Lions. He had the flash, so he could have had that follow-up of a hookshot flash, but of course it was responded to there by Sajed, so it is flashed down for both of these AD carries. Masu, because he had the push, also got to have the luxury of holding on to his teleport, which he's going to use now after finishing up that lost chapter, so he's going to be in a really comfortable spot at this point.
Yeah, lost chapter done, great.
Full build.
The job is done for the lane phase. Now it's just infinite bombs as they are going to start up this dragon. They do want to keep stacking here, and Masu is trying to fend them off in the bottom lane.
Yeah, Call Me could get jumped on here. The
Nice
hookshot
timing.
actually interrupting him on his little Justice Punch forward.
Yeah, smart from Cryogen there. He stays on the wall and waits for the Justice Punch flash.
Flash taunt. They're going to try to follow it up here. Quad going to flash away, though, from Kryra. Call Me doesn't have the damage to finish him off, and Call Me's going to get taken down for first blood. Griffin makes him pay. The Q flash was good from Kryra, but they just didn't have enough damage to finish off Quad.
Yeah, Call Me also committing there at the end, too. I don't think, maybe he misjudged his own damage. I don't think there's a world where he's going to have enough, even though you really want to be able to finish off the Orianna. Overcommitting there does go down to 1,000 gold lead right off the bat for FlyQuest with the first blood into, guess what? Griffin's hands, the snowball Shyvana able to get the last hit. So here's another look at it, and we're going to see Cryogen wait. Oh, excuse me, this is right after it. So they go for the flash play, then they go for the interrupt here, and it was a really nice move to try and block the follow-up engage. Then the full commitment here as Galio tries to go for the kill, but...
Yeah, and I mean, something I didn't catch live was Call Me was flashing over the shockwave. So he both avoided the shockwave with his flash and tried to use that aggressively as Quad was throwing down that shockwave. So tried to go in, tried to be able to make that play happen, couldn't quite do it. At the very least, they pulled Griffin off the dragon. So Griffin does get the kill, but no one has taken the dragon just yet.
Yeah, calm it down right afterwards. And we'll see about the next move towards top lane. Again, they really want to be able to get this Aatrox into a good spot. And with Cryogen constantly repeat visits up here, they're going to accomplish that. Flash advantage for Gakkos. See what they're able to do with it.
Yeah, got the ult off of Surdy there as well. Tried to use the public execution to buffer some of the CC that he was expecting to be coming in. And Gakkos did not spend his ult, did not spend his flash, so now Surdy's in a bit of a difficult spot with the wave pushing away from him. Cryogen has waited this whole time. Hookshot flash, ult is popped there by Gakkos, gets one knockup, but Surdy's got a lot of dashes, but not quite enough as the Q3 flash comes down from Gakkos, grabbing him a kill.
I say... the only, positive thing about these supports in their permanent roams is that people have started to hate junglers less. Now, though, Griffin under attack.
Griffin going to be able to go unstoppable there, but here comes the cease and desist to follow it up. Looks like he has got nowhere to go. The double taunt landing onto Quad. They don't have the damage to finish him off, but they do get a kill back onto Griffin and get his ult down.
Yeah, they take him down. This is a couple of combinations of the dive ults we were talking about, but it is actually funny now. Top laners used to hate junglers the most regardless, and now I'm seeing a shift. They actually hate supports even more than they hate junglers.
You know what, buddy? We got a lot of hate to go around.
Yeah, true. Don't
worry.
But, I mean, Cryogen, he's stuck to the plan, right? He stays up there, camp top, never leave, and they eventually got it to connect.
Yep.
It's big for DSG, to get the kind of a counter on the other side and get the kill here off onto Griffin and kind of get Griffin off the map at least for a little bit. Anytime you get Shyvana off the map is nice because she wants to keep up constant farm.
Yeah, and I will say those kind of deaths are the most frustrating ones for me as a top laner, where you see them coming in, you have them warded out, you avoid the gank, then you basically are playing super respectful for a wave or sometimes even more, and he just waits the whole time. Like, you can't just sit there and never farm and never walk up. You've got to reset the wave. At some point, you have to expose yourself.
Yeah, the wave was pushing away from him, and I saw it was that one last melee minion. And, Cryogen's recalling the brush, and he's like, I bet he's going to go try and Q this one last melee minion and, try and eat a little bit, try and get a minion as it's pushing away. And he waited.
Slapped his hand away from the cookie jar.
Yeah. He waited just long enough. So we'll check back in, though, because FlyQuest, wait a second.
Public execution used there onto Gakkos, who is getting quite low, but no more damage there to follow it up from Surdy. Didn't force out the World Ender. You know, he is going to have the flash advantage when it comes back up. There will be that brief window as Gekos did spend his flash to finish off Surdy on that kill. So maybe Surdy can get something there, but feels like mostly just using the ult for pressure, trying to reset the wave, as has been kind of held in this awkward spot for a long time. We can see Kryra's going up there, though, so maybe going to try to look for something.
Yeah, let's see, because Dragon is still available, so worrying about trying to make the cross map. Lions is under attack. The satchel is good.
Yeah, really good satchel. The ulti comes out from Shyvana. Lions flashes, but Griffin flash follows. They're going to be able to get the kill. And Kryra now, seeing that, interrupts the recall here from Gekos, but he's going to pop the World Ender and just try to fight his way through Kryra. Lands a good knockup, and that is going to be enough to push Kryra back. Well played there by Gekos to survive on the other side. Surdy trying to get in here. We'll see if he actually finds him. He will, but now Crygen has arrived, and the recall was finished from Vi. So Surdy tries to be the hero here, stopping the recall, trying to get more from that play. Ends up dying as Masu and Crygen show up. They lose out on both sides.
Oh, it is all falling apart for DSG. Surdy had tried to call jungle and like, all right, my turn for some pressure now. Our turn to play strong on the top side of the map. This carry versus carry top lane matchup. It's our time to get some gold. You know, they just made a bot side play, but the bot lane has time to get there. It is the teleport from Masu along with Crygen's early roam, and FlyQuest getting back to the other side while simultaneously taking the Dragon is just such a large early game lead for them that the prophesized later, like mid-game state, we are theorizing maybe when like outer towers are down, if DSG can use this super hard dive to start picking people off and making it hard for FlyQuest to tend to their minion waves. Like that doesn't look like it's going to become a reality in this game with the early lead that FlyQuest have already been able to accrue.
Yeah, I mean, Shen is obviously good as both kind of like aggressive pairing, you know, with the Stand United, but also people talk about Shen as a really good denial champion. But Crygen has just gotten so much more done, right? Only does have the 3 assists, but has been constantly pressuring, has been everywhere across the map, and has really made Surdy's life a bit of a nightmare up here on that top side. But now they're going to try to set up a dive here onto Quad. They're going in. The Hero's Entrance to follow it up. Quad is just getting CC'd 100-0, but Kryra had no way out. Spent the Vault Breaker, didn't want to use the flash, and now in comes Griffin. Calmy going to have to try to back it up, but Lions arrives. Taunt's going to go wide to Jed, pushing in the wave. We'll see if they want to set up the redive, but they're not confident they can burst them down on a tower.
And even Griffin re-entering this topside, that used more time of 3 people of DSG. And that time equals damage on towers for Masu and pressure on the other side of the map for FlyQuest. So while DSG do get a kill, go down the checklist. They gave a kill back. The Vi died under tower. They also used half of their arsenal of ultimates with Vi ult, Galio ult being invested on this top side to go for the dive in the first place and just get a 1-for-1. And then they weren't even able to die a minion wave because Griffin was able to fight his way back in there, and they also lost some mid lane at the exact same time. So while it is a DSG play that does get a kill, they went negative in overall gold across the map.
Yeah, they did, and this lead is very, very big right now. 2.3K, was up to 2.6K, but I think the Colt just cashed out there for Sajed. So at least he's got an item done, but, you know, I talked about it in the draft. You know, when you get to that point where it's, you know, 3-4 items, whenever they're going to be picking up the Zonias, it just gets so much harder to actually find these plays onto Quad and Masu. And all the plays, for the most part, have been in the favor of FlyQuest thus far. They haven't really been able to put on any pressure. FlyQuest also took the early Dragon, so there's not really any pressure of soul stacking or anything like that for DSG. And they are definitely on the back foot and going to be having to find some really good engages if they want to fight their way back into this game.
Yeah, and when they do find the engage to pull the trigger, they're going to need to not go 1-for-1 in those scenarios where they're investing a lot, because Griffin is going to be, you know, scaling up here on this Shyvana. When you have an Orianna on your team, not only does it provide some nice CC to follow up with your Shyvana ultimate, but the shield and speed boost are also very useful in enabling these melee carries, whether it's the Shyvana or the Aatrox.
Oh, Masu gonna get ulted on, but he's flashing back out of the tower. The killer instinct comes in. They're trying to take him Masu, and they do take him out. Kryra gets a Stand United, but it's gonna be traded back regardless. Crygen locking him under the tower, able to get one there. So they do get a kill. It is the 1-for-1, but unfortunately Sajed does not walk away with that kill gold.
Yeah, he didn't get the gold, and again, yeah, it's 1-for-1 under the tower as the Vi goes down. At least they also got the flash out of Ziggs, so maybe they can try some repeat plays here. And they, at least this time around, didn't have to give us as much on the rest of the map. So the kill gold is good, but still really working from behind here, DSG, and they're not able to get a lot of pressure on those outer towers either. So it's constantly FlyQuest kind of gaining territory.
And while this game is still revving up, better fill up your tanks because the LCS Championship is at Gas South Arena in the greater Atlanta area from October 3rd to 4th. Tickets are available now, so go grab them, and Kobe and I'll see you there.
See you there. Let's go. I'm excited for that one. Excited for this one right now, though, because Cryogen just dodges out the taunt from Lion.
Yeah, nicely dodged out. Lions loses half his health, but Kryra still looking to start off the fight, and there's the public execution coming in, and the shutdown actually goes to the Kaisa. Griffin and Quad are still in the area. It looks like they still may want to fight. Ziggs trying to get over here on the side, but has no flash, remember. So this is a bit of a difficult approach. You can see Lions trying to wrap around behind him.
Yeah, Galio is kind of hovering up halfway here now too, so they might try and make a Galio play. He yoinks it.
Griffin just walks in and steals it, and then uses the Dragon's Descent to just get out to safety. Didn't actually grab it, but then the taunt comes in onto Masu. Sajed flashes forward, but I don't know what that flash was. He got nothing at all. Griffin, though, going to be cut off in the jungle here, taken down as Kryra gets another kill. Quad picks up the eye. Kryra is running. Sajed is going to fall to Cryogen here. Quad is slowly taking down Kryra as DSG are just losing people everywhere. They try to go for the Herald. They lose that. They try to go for the dive. They lose out multiple kills there as well.
And they're not even done losing stuff. Quad and Gakkos are going for 30.
Surdy in a lot of trouble here. It's going to be tanked up there by Gakko. Surdy flashes away. Call Me arrives with the hero's entrance. Will keep him safe. Going to be able to spot Cryogen, who is just trying to be annoying in the area. You can see pings over onto the Dragon as FlyQuest will just back this one up.
Whew, crazy sequence that we had there with the yoink from Griffin, and then the escape from Masu was actually clutch with his satchel as well. From the Flash Galio play, but let's take another look at it as they start it, and then the complete deletion of the support Camille is a little bit of catharsis for DSG, and Surdy finally he gets a little bit of revenge. But then Griffin is looking at this the entire time, and he's coming in looking for the yoink here on the eyeball, does get the Q smite, and is able to ult out to the top side, but then he wraps around. And he goes to this other side of the fight where they go off of Masu, and even with the flash play from Galio, and Sajed committing his flash there, which both got nullified for Masu's satchel charge. Now he's, okay, now he's dead.
And there we go. If you don't succeed, try again. They go back, they get the kill, and Griffin trying to burst down the Dragon will be able to secure it, so second Dragon goes their way. Masu does fall again. Quad, though, has the Seekers already. Cryogen going to go in. The Shockwave is there to follow it up. And that is an easy kill, but now Kryra arrives. Call Me is here too. Cryogen slated to fall. The two-man taunt across both these members from FlyQuest, and in comes Sajed. Quad just gets deleted, can't even pop the Seekers. It's a double there for the Galio, and DSG make FlyQuest pay.
They get something off the back of it too, continuing to force plays. Yeah, Gakkos is split pushing on the top side of the map, so he's going to get most of that tower. But here's a look at the start of how they actually deleted Masu this time. Nice ulti in from Surdy there on the Mbessa, and then they want to snowball this. FlyQuest, though, they take the opportunity to try and burst down the support. They have full vision with that cone. So they pop the plant and they finish off the support Shen here. They do sacrifice more members to do so, though, because of Call Me's Galio being in range. And maybe should have called off the play at just abandoned support for support kill. But they do get chased down, and the extra kills here for DSG, maybe that will be the start of their comeback. That is some much needed money here for DSG. And since Call Me did have a Dark Seal as well, the Galio getting extra benefit of AP off of this, up to 7 stacks, despite the early kind of rough start here for DSG. They're very capable of pulling off explosive team fights with this extremely hard dive composition.
Yeah, they really are. And I mean, Sajed was down over 1,000 gold earlier in the game. He's now up a little bit of gold here. Obviously, the problems are Cryogen massively ahead, and Gakkos 1.4K up, already on 2 items, plus the Merc Treads here. And Aatrox is going to be difficult for them compositionally. This is 4 melee champions trying to fight through a very strong Aatrox. Quad did have the Seekers, maybe made the judgment that he was just going to die anyway, so held on to it.
This tower is fake defense.
Yeah, Surdy knows it. He's just going to run on out as all that crystalline overgrowth. One auto is going to take it down. Surdy, though, staying safe for now.
Okay, so just a collection. Are they going to trap them on the outside, though? Teleport being used. Orianna has to run for her life.
Yeah, Quad is going to try to make a run for it. There comes the public execution. Flash is forced. Griffin in the area. Are they going to use the stasis? Not just now. In comes the hero's entrance. There is that stasis. Teleport coming in as well. The taunt onto Quad. He's going to get burst down, but Gakko's arrives. So does Masu. The AoE damage big, and DSG trying to cut it out, trying to deny the resets here from Gakko's, but Gakkos desperately wants one, trying to finish them off. He's going to get the resets, and you hear that sound. You know the fight might be over, but Sajed is fighting as hard as he can, trying to push him back. It's Griffin with a triple, though, as they barely got the reset for Gakkos, and that was all they needed.
The double juggernaut champions here, again, grouping up on this Orianna. So Quad buys a lot of time. He flashes into a deeper position, the full commitment with the Galio ult, with the Shen ult. He buys his time, and then in the large grouping here, 4 members, bomb comes through from Masu to soften them up, and they try and get the chase down. Gakkos flashing there to try and keep them in, does hit the W, and then Masu's damage is enough to start to get some of these resets. Griffin there with the triple kill. He was able to finish off the Shen and tear them up.
They're just trying to rush the Baron here. Teleports are coming in, so they're clearly aware of this right now. Lions has spotted it. FlyQuest pulled back. They're going to try to turn onto Kryra. He's just hit by the Hextech ultimatum. He's ignited. He's turning, though, onto Cryogen, who tries to flash out, but he flashes right into the waiting arms of the Kaisa. And now Call Me going through the Hex gates here. DSG wants to try to get more, but FlyQuest should be able to disengage.
FlyQuest lost their coordination here, really scrambling off of this fight. They called him to peel off of Baron and look for the pick onto enemy jungle, but the Camille is so far ahead.
Quad in trouble. Here comes the cease and desist. Sajed there trying to follow it up, but doesn't have the ulti. And Kryra finds out in the hurry that Sajed cannot follow up. No killer instinct. Gakko's now popping the World Ender, chasing down Lions. He's going to be dead as well. He's got no energy. Even if he had the Shadow Dash, he couldn't use it. FlyQuest make a mistake, but then make up for it with a couple kills here, as Quad didn't even need the Zhonya's.
I mean, it's hype, right? We've got divers on multiple sides, and both sides, the dive goes very far without the follow-up, and in the end, with the second mistake here, with the enemy jungle going down, there's no way that DSG can steal the Baron, but can they? Nope.
Call Me flashing, decides to try to go back in. I don't know if he has a way out. Stand United comes through. He procs the Storm Raider Surge, is creating a little bit of space here. Surdy still on the side, trying to find an angle. There comes that public execution. The taunt flashes in on the Masu, but they don't have the damage to finish him. Sajed, though, doing a lot here in this fight. Needs to try to get into the back line. Doesn't have the killer instinct available because he hadn't hit any plasma until just then. He's not going to be able to jump in onto Griffin. So at the end of the day, they do get that one kill. They'll rush over and try to grab the dragon for a bounty there. Maybe try to get a double bounty with a mid lane tower. That could be a nice little slingshot of gold.
It's really going to be very nice for them. Chop this gold lead down significantly with these quick back-to-back bounties and with getting the kill onto Quad. Very significant. He was low on mana after the Baron take here for FlyQuest, so they make the call. As they barely get Call Me out, he is able to get the Shen ult and runs for his life. But here comes the rest of it, and it is the flank from Surdy that is going to open up the timing window. Yeah, Quad does have his Zhonya's, but he's still right in the middle, and they can Galio for the re-entry here, setting up Sajed to get another kill. This Kaisa that we highlighted that was so big for DSG in getting some of their early wins when they first joined the LCS, gets a little bit more money, and he is the only one with the tiniest of gold leads on the side of DSG, kind of trying to lead their comeback, trying to lead their hopes here of winning these fights.
And Masu has elected to go for that Proto Belt instead. So going for the Rocket Belt, doesn't decide to go for the Zhonya's third, maybe going to get that later on. Quada's obviously had that for quite some time. And normally, I'm a pretty big hater of Gluttonous Greaves. I just think in Pro, you don't get enough stacks. But Sajed has 7 stacks already. So this is actually paying off for him quite a bit because it has been quite a bloody game. He's been involved in a lot. And when you do get that fully stacked, it is quite impactful here for him, and he is on 3 items, is getting very, very strong. But as you said, he's the only one with the gold lead, and he's going to have to play really well as they're looking for a pick now onto Gatkos. Pops the World Ender, but he is getting CC'd up, and he is getting locked down, knocked down. That's 1K in Surdy's pockets.
This is huge for DSG, fighting back again. Now they've got more room to work with on the map. They get the pick, and you can often turn that into some turret plate money as well. Topside looks vulnerable. They can just rotate over, steal some jungle while in the process. Griffin does want to try and at least defend his red, though, and they're just going to get the push out afterwards. But moments ago, this was a 5,000 gold lead for FlyQuest, and quickly chopped down here by DSG. Despite the Baron pickup you see in the top right corner of your screen, it's negative 1,800.
And that is that swing that you're talking about right there in this tower. A lot of crystalline overgrowth, but no way for Calmy to just walk up and take it. Cryogen may get spotted on the side here as Kryra trying to defend Calmy, allowing him to push this in. You can see Lions moving up there as well. I don't know how you feel about this kind of... I feel like Locket is getting overlooked sometimes in exchange for, Protoplasm. Obviously, it is very good on Shen. It helps with your own survivability, but I feel like when you're playing against Ziggs Orianna, surely Locket has to just be the correct choice.
Locket does sound good. Me speaking from the teammate of the support,
yeah,
I would like, of course, the individual, survivability of Protoplasm is crazy for the Shen individually, but especially at this point, it's definitely about the team. It's about the team fights for sure. Since the early success as far as the support battle and the influence on map was heavily won by the Camille anyway, Smite does go down in order to secure this Scuttle Crab vision. And Griffin is able to secure that before they escape with their lives. You have to be very, very wary of this dive from DSG, getting that close to the Vi. They can easily pull the trigger. Of course, teleports are all ready for all members of FlyQuest. So the Avengers could assemble in order to defend whoever does get picked.
They absolutely could. Masu has another large rod. Obviously, that could just be a death cap if he wants to go full aggressive, or he could work in towards that Zhonya's. But a lot of big tools here available right now for DSG. We have Seekers on Sajed, on Calmy, GA, on Kryra, so they have a lot of those extra lives, those immunities up and available. There is still just that one Zhonya's for quad. As Griffin going in for the Death Stance Shojin, very, very tanky on this champion. And generally just more effective to build tanky items instead of the GA, but they're going to be looking here for Calmy. Calmy's going to try to turn around with the teleport. The taunt coming through. There's the Dragon's Descent as Quad gets put low. In comes Surdy. He gets locked up, but in comes the Hero's Entrance. He's just deleted in a hurry, and the 2-man shockwave there as Calmy punches back forward, lands a taunt, but no one can follow up. Gatkos gets the reset. Sajed has got to run. Cryogen flashing forward. Sajed flashes out. Lions goes back in, but there's no one there with them. It's going to be another kill going the way of FlyQuest, as Kryra going to be having to be careful here. At the very least, there's no major objective for them to grab, but they're marching on the base.
FlyQuest take the initiative. They decide, we're going to make the pick ourselves. They do it in the top lane, and that might be enough to get inside the base. Could they look for a hard push here? 17 seconds on Surdy, 20 seconds on Calmy.
They are going to be able to grab the inhib. Kryra trying to position to see if there's an angle to
They're
punish
already
here.
Pinging for a delayed play. They just want to keep this play extended. Don't let them recall. The pings on the revivals here.
Yeah, they are spotting them again. Calmy's going to be up in 5. Surdy does not have teleport, so he would not be able to join, and I think that's going to make it pretty difficult with no Stand United, with no teleport on Surdy. It would basically just be Galio TPing in with Sajed and Kryra in the air trying to make something happen, so they decide, you know what, we can't do it, and it is back to that 5K gold lead as a result. But DSG could just try to rush down this dragon and move themselves to 2 dragons here, and tie up with FlyQuest.
Then pings are going down from FlyQuest on Baron. They're like, okay, fine, you're on Dragon. That thing's going to slow you down too. We immediately started out. Griffin is burning it.
Yeah, they see it. Surdy showed bot, though, and Surdy has no teleport, and I think that is really big right now. FlyQuest still sticking on this. Surdy is running, but it's going to be a while before he gets there. Gatkos spotted by Lions on the side, but Lions has to use that Shadow Dash defensively. Griffin spent the Dragon's Ascent just to try to burst down this Baron. Cryogen looking on the side. Kryra going to jump in onto him. Kryra just trying to focus down this support, but the Baron is getting pretty low. They're going to turn on to Griffin. Gatkos pops a World Ender, and it's a Jet incredibly low. Burst low, but does survive. Griffin maybe going to fall. He's burning down. He's shut down there by Calmy, but a couple kills going the other way as well. Both junglers have fallen. Cryogen has fallen. It's one-man advantage here, and Calmy is getting into the backline, trying to make something happen here. Surdy focusing down Gatghost. Masu is incredibly low. There's the Stand United there for Sajet on the side as Calmy trying to finish him off, but just does not have the damage. Quad trying to do something, but he's got no mana. Goes into the zone. He has Masu on 1 HP, surviving for now. Quad falls. The hero's entrance coming back down. Gatghost gonna get knocked up. Do they have the taunt? They do not just yet. Sajet goes into the Zonias himself. He's surviving still again. He is not dead, but their base is dying. Masu trying to stop some of the recalls here. Gonna get spotted there on the side by Calmy, and he will be running for it. Calmy looking for him. Goes over the wall, and again, Masu survives with almost no HP. This game is just on a razor's edge.
DSG are fighting back. What a fight for them. They get so much money, and they're going to reset on the map quicker. They got the late kill onto Gatghost. That's still 25 seconds on the revival of the Aatrox, and that fight might have won them the Baron, and it's going to be FlyQuest taking the compensation dragon instead.
Well, this is crazy. They're going to be able to grab the dragon. This will move FlyQuest, though, to Soul Point here. Hextech Soul will be available for them. The Baron did not work out for FlyQuest last time, so we'll see if it does better for DSG. As FlyQuest 1 away from getting that super powerful soul here, but DSG really making him work for it. This fight was chaos.
This is crazy from them. Okay, so Kryra on the top side of the screen immediately beelines into the Baron. He ults onto the Shyvana while the Baron was on him, and then they try and full combo here. So Cryogen is dealt with by Sajet off on the side individually. It means they go +1 on the kills, but FlyQuest still thought, even with the extra person going down on their team, they could go for the chase because Sajet is so low and out of cooldowns. The flank, though, from Calmy is everything. Behind onto Masu, who then has to spend a lot. And Shen ult was onto Sajet instead of onto Calmy, so Shen comes in the safer position by the Kai'Sa instead of with Calmy, which ended up working out great for them as they're able to chase down Quad right into the Galio ult.
Your W kill, you know? Oh, hell no. So close.
Yeah, probably talking about almost killing Masu at the very end there. Glennis Greaves really, really big for Sajet in that fight as well. Yeah. When he got really low, I mean, Griffin flashed on him, almost one-shot him, but didn't. And then he's hitting the blue buff the whole time, healing back up. And he's now on 10 stacks of that Glennis Greaves, and Lions now has the locket as well. Kryra going to get spotted here, but the team is coming in to try to back him back up. And they are going in on Cryogen. Cryogen is dead in a hurry. Kryra put a little bit low. They're going to try to kite out Gatghost World Ender. Kryra does get interrupted, but they do kite it out. Don't think Griffin is going to want to send it from this angle, so it is just that one kill. And the leads are evaporating for the most part here for FlyQuest. It is Cryogen with a massive lead, and it is Griffin with a very big lead, but that is Griffin's at the end of the day.
Griffin's coming back like they want to still fight this, even though the tower's already gone, and it's pushing Baron here for FlyQuest, so they're just going to catch the wave. Masu alone pushing in the mid lane, going to have to kind of rotate over towards bottom lane instead, away from the rest of the members there of DSG. And FlyQuest try and calm the game down because they're looking 3 minutes into the future, Azael. They're looking for the Dragon Soul.
Yeah, they really are. Masu decided no defense, offense is the way. Survived through that entire last fight. Does have the death cap now, and here they go. Kryra gonna make Masu regret this. As there's a teleport, there's a Stand United, there is everything sent, and they do kill off Masu, but there's no big objectives up right now, so it's just going to be trying to take towers.
And this is what we were just saying. He has to rotate down to the bottom side, but then he pushes out on bottom side, and he doesn't give respect to the move from DSG, who had just taken over the map, gone through mid lane, go all the way down to bottom lane. It's a great combo from Lions and Kryra to pick off the upgraded Medjai Ziggs, whose stacks drop, and now
Surdy trying to kite it back. Big shockwave. Multi-man fear comes in with the Dragon's Ascent, but they are turning on Griffin, and Griffin is not tanky enough. There's the killer instinct. Cryogen just came back, and Cryogen is dead again. DSG cracking the base open. 3 kills going their way, and they are posturing to try to end the game right now. There is no shockwave. Gatghost has ult. Masu is going to be up here in 6 seconds. Gatghost now pops the World Ender, trying to buy some time. Masu will be given that time to respond. Has the ultimate. And as a result, DSG will back it up. Masu, that wasn't even the center of his ult, just did over half the HP of Sajed. So his offensive build does a ton of damage, and even after that death, he is not going towards a Seeker, he's going towards Void Staff.
Yeah, he sold off the Medjais after he lost all the pages out of his book, and put that money towards the Void Staff. Let's get a listen in, though.
10 seconds, okay?
With Galio ult, we dive, I think, by the way.
I don't have ult now.
Okay. No, but when you have
ult,
I just ult in, I think.
Okay.
My Jane 20, maybe we can fight.
Yeah, we can dive the tier 3.
I trust the mid.
Pwede ka sa ult, you know?
They're looking. Oh, in ult. They're on ult. Look,
Shivan.
Shivan.
I'm tanking tower still. I will stop tank, okay? Stop tank.
Yeah, great call there. As soon as you got Galio ult, my GA is coming up in 20 seconds. Let's go for the dive. And that is how you get even more out of the successful play. Really good calling here from DSG. It's another one of these games where DSG can climb back from gold deficits. And I swear, it's a lot of the times it's with Sajed on Kaisa and DSG with a dive comp.
Yeah, I agree. This guy is different on the Kaisa. He is so good. Call Me as well is monster fed, though. He has 10 stacks on his Darksteel. He has a death cap. Like, this is a really, really high damage Galio here. And Sajed now has that Shadow Flame complete as well. So Call Me is going to be a real threat. If he actually gets to land in on them with that Hero's Entrance, get a full combo, any of these AP carries are going to be dead in a hurry here. And FlyQuest now looking at this Soul as maybe more of a bailout than just a win secure here, as they are in the area, but they don't really have any vision whatsoever. And Griffin gonna get jumped on, losing a lot of health quick, has to use the Dragon's Descent as the Dragons exit. The public execution there from Surdy does not connect. Kryra going forward. Sandy United going to be popped. They're trying to burst down Gakkos, but Gakkos kiting them out and has the World Ender, getting Kryra low. Surdy jumping back, eating a lot of poke, though, from the Ziggs. I think they just need to turn on the Dragon here, as Griffin isn't in the area, but they were seeing if they could get something more.
Yeah, I think they've won the Dragon with their burst that they had onto Griffin, but would love to get a chase down kill. It's so high in tension right now. 36 minutes into this game. That is Dragon number 2 for DSG. They're going to clean this one up as Baron will arrive shortly. And they already have vision control. They've got the setup here for the Baron bait. And the turn is insane off of this team. They don't have the Ambessa ultimate, but they do have the Vi ultimate into Galio ult combo. So with this team, even if you have a couple ultimates down, you still have 2 of the best engages off of turning away from Baron that you can possibly get in the game. And so it's going to put a lot of threat on FlyQuest here. Very dangerous for them. And so I do like that they have 3 Scryer's trinkets, but they're going to have to get Gakkos over there to use the 3rd one. Looks like they're just going to make the call, give it up. Gakkos is recalling back to base.
They are walking over now, though, and now they should surely know that they are on the Baron, but it is definitely way too late, as that got a little bit dangerous, as that was down
like
to...
a jungler there, too. I was feeling that pressure. That bomb timing was good.
I'm not going to lie. I have lost some smite battles against Ziggs. That ult late game, man, that thing is crazy. And that was a smite. I want to say I saw like 1420 was the last HP I saw, and I feel like Ziggs ult can hit for that.
I was clenching for sure. Let's take a look at it. Going down pretty quickly here, too. The timing is really good. Yeah, oh my God.
1425.
Oh my God, that timing is so perfect. And clutch from Kryra to still get it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so he gets it. Nice combo from him. He has the 1400 smite plus an auto attack here with an E, and able to burst it.
Not even close.
Not even
1425. Got it. Easy peasy. And there is the Magi now picked up here for Call Me. His last item upgraded, as they are looking really dangerous at this point in the game. Got to find a way to somehow avoid the dive and deal with Sajed, who is tearing through their frontliners at this point. Has been playing really well on the Kaisa. And Cryogen is someone who has had a pretty big goal lead throughout this whole game, but it hasn't really meant anything since the early game. He was putting on a lot of pressure early, but hasn't been able to do much in these later fights.
So Masu's Mega Inferno Bomb does 1409 magic damage.
Oh my God.
Are going to have resist, but
Kyra could be in some trouble. Is going to get pulled back in by the chains, gets satcheled out. Might actually lose the GA. He is running for his life. Narrowly avoids the ultimate coming in from Masu. But Sajed, even one bouncing bomb is dealing 30-40% of his HP, so has to constantly try to heal back up off these waves, but Calmy was pushing in through mid. And this tower is getting low. You can see Griffin is answering through bot. They had already lost that tower earlier. Now Surdy pushing up through top. They're trying to pressure all 3 waves. But Masu doing a good job with the wave clear, and his poke is still incredibly threatening.
Certainly is, and the pressure is not going to relent here. Baron-empowered minions, the siege continues, so the base of FlyQuest will continue to crumble. 40 seconds left on the Baron here as well. Calmy going in for a little bit of a chunk.
Yeah, Sajed having to be a bit careful. Barely avoids the Infernal Chains. As Surdy now pushing in through the top, trying to pressure Quad a little bit. Takes a couple tower shots for his trouble. And Cryogen's going in. They're going to try to turn it around onto him. Stand United coming through. Heroes enters as well. All the counter engage arrives. Here comes the cavalry. It's a shutdown for Griffin. But the rest of the DSG members can't even get involved. Kryra has got to run. Krymi has got to run. He's going to try to turn around with a big taunt, though. Can't quite finish off Cryogen. And they're looking at the base right now as Sajed is pushing forward. He's going to Hexgate back out. They thought they had an angle to maybe finish there, but at the end of the day, Calmy does not get a kill, loses his flash and his life.
Yeah, they made the call. Calmy, re-engage, and teleport from Sajed into the Nexus towers, but the minion wave had just been cleared out, so Sajed didn't have the time upon arrival to try and pressure that end, but they made the call to look for it. Keep your eyes on the mini-map as we're watching this disengage from DSG, trying to get away. It is Griffin that gets the initial shutdown, and then as they're chasing, Sajed and Lions run to the bottom side into the jungle here, and they go, all right, fine, flash taunt for re-engage. He can't kill Cryogen, but teleport has been used by Sajed to try and pressure, and the teleport answer from a manaless Orianna also over to that side. I guess since they killed off the Galio so quickly, Sajed was never really going to have time unless he had already, a super minion on those Nexus towers, then maybe they could threaten more effectively. But still, looking for that play. They did trade teleports with the Orianna as well.
Oh, Lions goes in with the taunt flash, but Masu is there to answer. He flashes out the taunt across multiple members. Sajed has got to get involved here. Dragon's Descent coming forward. There's full sending onto Sajed. Surdy in the backline fighting against Squad. Sajed standing, Sajed fighting. He takes down Cryogen, but now he's in the middle of the team. He's looking with a flash forward, but it's not going to get him anything. Trying to heal back up, but he cannot survive.
And they win?
And it looks like they might just be able to. They're going to try to TP and end through bot. Double teleport coming in there as Calmy is the only one up here, but that is a big wave, and I don't know if he's going to be able to do anything about it.
Yep, they've got Ziggs, the Demolitionist. This tower is gone. This base is done, and the game should be won by FlyQuest.
Calmy trying his best to stay alive, to try to clear out the wave. Griffin pushing him back. Quad flashes forward, but it's Masu and Gatkos with their eyes on the tower. They knock him down. They take the Nexus, and they take game 1.
Now we're into the Game 2 draft. We've seen 3 games from FlyQuest so far in Summer Split and 3 mages for Masu.
Yeah.
Of all the players, I feel like he'd be the most likely to default back into 80 carries, but he's been really steady with these mages. Silas is banned though, so we're going to see something different.
Yeah, I mean, I pegged FlyQuest prior to this split as a team that could potentially just go absolutely ham in the new meta, so I'm not surprised. At the very least, again, because I think Ziggs, in my estimation, is just so strong, even when compared to other strong mages that we're seeing in the bot lane. So I do think that's something that bot laners should be learning and should have been learning prior to things opening up a lot more. As we see the insta-lock of Cassiopeia that could be going bot, also could be going mid.
Couple of flex picks.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Quad's best pick. So like, that is something that even though you can flex it, do you want to flex it? I would want to put the champion into the hands of the best player on that champion.
Yeah, I mean, I remember having this conversation about TL with APA and Yawn, right? Where Yawn is also still a strong Ziggs player, but then you literally have the LCS Ziggs specialist on your team. So you want to put it into his hands. As we see DSG going with Syndra Lee Sin. I am curious to see where the Syndra is going as well. since she has also been one of these mages who's been pretty strong in the bot lane.
It feels like a bit of a Call Me classic. He does like his Syndra picks, though we've seen this matchup, I feel like, pretty heavily within the meta, where later on in the game, Syndra scales quite well and creates a lot of pick opportunities versus a short-range Cassiopeia. But in lane, it's pretty difficult to survive the matchup. So want to see how that goes, but we got an Ezreal locked in.
And guess
Ezreal,
what?
we can relax.
The sigh of relief. I think Ezreal has been the strongest AD carry, like even in the mage meta. It's definitely the premier AD carry. Because he can take care of himself so well, he's so incredibly mobile, and he offers so much push in lane in tandem with this Bard. That is a really strong lane to have to go up against.
And additionally, I like the Bard into the Cinder to get a lot of mid-game picks.
And I kind of am looking towards the Leona for DSG because it is a pick that I feel like Lions has been really successful with in the past. And he has difficult to catch on towards Ezreal, but your goal eventually is to find the Cassiopeia, make her life really difficult later on in the game. You will never see an Ezreal want to go for a cleanse. And so even though you have Syndra and technically Leona later on in the game, I think that's not going to be a concern. But we'll have to see as the Gnar gets locked in here, a blind Gnar.
Yep, but immediately the Vayne ban to support that. So want to take out some potential ranged AD
they ban
carry.
the Corki as well?
Top lane.
There's no rise in this game to ruin the Corki.
Dude, playing blind Gnar in this meta is just, it's hell.
It's a little riskier than it used to be, for sure.
Especially versus Gakkos, that's more than willing to be like, okay, what in the champion pool am I willing to play? He's played a Quinn in the past. He can play the Varus here, like if he wants to go crazy in that respect, or he can just go towards something that is tried and true. So I'm interested in what Gakkos has cooking here. Or you could take that bad boy Cassiopeia top lane.
You could.
That would be a flex for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the more, it's like an OG Cassio top. Remember when she got the mana buff and people were like, oh, the mana buff to Cassio makes her a better top laner actually because she can just spam her Twin Fangs. And one of the matchups that you usually saw her in, it was like just to punish the mini Gnar. So it is a possibility. Once again, I'm just going to say we should just let Quad play it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was going to return to your very argument, which is that Quad is, such a specialist on Cassiopeia. It's one of his best picks. I said that about Ori before, but Cassio was his first kind of like solo queue climbing champion. Funny. And we see the Corki locked in tandem with
They are
Gnar.
triple banning by picking away for their Gnar top. They ban Yasuo, Vayne, and then also
Don't give him the opportunity.
This lets us guarantee that the Syndra is going mid as well. I'm still... Raz, I'm going to guarantee that Cassio's mid.
Okay.
Yeah, my guarantee.
Your guarantee?
We'll see.
No Cassio top. Yeah. No Cassio
We're getting a Tristana top.
There's no Hoonie in this game. It's not what I remember.
Tristana top is available, guys.
She still is, yeah. Pantheon in for... Oh.
Look, we're just hovering just to troll us.
Yeah.
We are on live patch. Locke has received some heavy nerfs, so it's been somewhat banned throughout today, but also fallen through a lot of drafts as well.
Ooh, I love Rumble here.
We could just be going for the Rumble, the classic.
Yeah. And with the Pantheon already locked in, I mean, it's going to be really difficult, I think, for Syndra to be able to play any level of sides. So I think side lanes are going to be really tough for DSG to be able to catch, whereas Pantheon and Bard as a duo is going to be very much like a hellacious duo to really deal with. So good luck, Kryra, being able to and of course in Lions, to be able to try and match that.
Yeah, I really, really like what FlyQuest have come up with, both in terms of like the overall holistic draft, but then also in terms of the people who are piloting these champions. I think sometimes I do worry a little bit more about Cryogen on like tank initiators where you are the primary engager, but roaming on Bard I think suits him so well. He'll be strong in lane, he'll be strong out of lane. The Pantheon can pay attention to side lanes. Like, I really like what FlyQuest have here.
I think it's going to be really hard for Syndra to play this game. Calmy's got a lot of things he's got to watch out for. The lane should be okay. That's why you pick the Syndra when you see the Cassiopeia, but then the way the rest of the draft really unfolded, I think FlyQuest just has a lot of options. Although it's another one of those similar situations where there's no real tank, so they do have to play fast and get a pretty big lead.
Yeah, that's why I like the Leona. I expected the Leona to be picked earlier in the draft. It was not going to be contested at all, so they were like, okay, we can just drop it into 4-5. Gets picked here, and the threat is going to be Cassio. Cassio has to be really watching her positioning versus Syndra, Leona, all of that. But I want to hear from the casters because they got a guest here.
Special guest.
Yeah, in fact, I'll let him do the intro. Take it away, guys.
Yep, it's the Asby duo joined by Castical here. It's coming in.
The tactical caster. Welcome. Your first time casting. Let's go.
Thank you. Thank you.
You were giving your thoughts on the draft as we were going through it. Let's give the TLDR of your evaluations here to the viewers now. Who do you think won?
I think it's a fly win for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks
Not
good.
even close.
Yeah, not even close.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're DSG, then what do you think they have to actually get done here?
I think their mid jungle has to get really fed, or they have to get at least 2 dragons, which is not reliable this game even, because they don't even win fights guaranteed. And I don't know, it just looks hard to play. You need to play perfect almost.
Yeah, it can be very difficult. Definitely feels like a hard game for Syndra with like Bard ult and Equalizer and Pantheon ult and all these tools coming down on your head. So talk to us a little bit about the 2v2 then, obviously. We got you in here. We need your bot lane expertise. We got Ezreal Bard versus Corki Leona.
I mean, you have Corki Leona. They're kind of short range, but if you get an all-out fight, they're pretty strong. But it feels awkward because I'm pretty sure Ezreal Bard gets Prow here, so and they could just avoid and roam mid, which would be really annoying for Syndra Lee Sin because their win con is to win mid 2v2. So
definitely will be difficult. Then we'll see if DSG can create any sort of early advantage to find a way in, let's say, in this game.
I mean, is there any level 1 that you would call for? You know, like you can do things about trying to even go for a Raptor contest or split jungle, or even go for cheeses, like call my freaking other laner down here or something. What would you try and call for if you're coach for DSG? You got to take your losing side. Casticle is in their ears.
I mean, looking at it now, like, it seems hard because they're just out of range. So if they do walk in and the enemy team's just there, they're just looking at them like, okay, I'll just eat an Ezreal kill, I guess. But I don't think they can force anything level 1. So we'll just have to see if they play well or if FlyQuest makes any mistakes here.
Okay, so you tell your squad, time to outplay them early, guys. Just outplay them.
Coach Tactical is like, well, sorry, guys.
Guys, my bad.
Draft.
Good luck, guys. You guys got that.
We'll see how it goes. I will say FlyQuest has not been super clean or anything so far this split, so I do think there will be opportunities for DSG. It feels like so many teams in general, globally, really ever since First Stand, obviously with LPL winning First Stand, teams have been trying to play faster. Teams have been trying to play more chaotic. Lion was talking about that. TL was talking about that. FlyQuest has always been kind of crazy, at least rumored in scrims, and they're playing kind of that style. So I do think it opens up opportunities. Like even if a comp should be, at this point it's going to be really smooth sailing, people are just kind of fist fighting, and sometimes that does open the door.
I can confirm they are really bloody in the scrims.
How's it been for you coming in for Cloud9? Obviously, you've been in Tier 2 for a while. You've won, what, 3 NACL championships in a row now?
Yes,
right?
yes, 3. I mean, it was a sudden change. I can't believe it, honestly, myself still.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited to be here. Happy to be here.
Yeah. Got the dub today, so that has to feel good.
Yeah, of course. My first one in 2 years now. So.
Yeah. Well, not probably an LCS, right?
Yeah,
but you were winning trophies. You were winning trophies.
He's been racking up wins.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you were stacking dubs in Tier 2.
There we go.
Yeah, I was farming them.
As far as these 2 bottom laners, there's been a lot of talk, especially about Masu. Where would you rank these guys among the 8 LCS AD carries?
I have not really practiced against the Jed, really, so I don't have to say. But Masu, this guy, he's down to fight. I'll say that much. Like, he doesn't care if he dies.
Is that a you respect it, or you're like, it's troll moments?
It's both. Like, sometimes I'm like, wow, this guy's like really annoying. Some other times I'm like, wow, this guy's being like stupidly annoying.
It's always interesting to me, like where people are in the line, because I do think when someone is just playing way too far up and exposing themselves, like that can be a detriment. But sometimes when like an entire team is doing it, it can actually work if they're talented enough, right?
Yeah,
Where it's like your jungler can't be everywhere. And sometimes teams do play too respectful almost, where everyone's like, oh, the jungler could be here. Like everyone's got to be hugging their tower. So I do always find that interesting and kind of like have respect for players who are trying to walk that line, though obviously it can sometimes go too far one way and then you end up looking a little bit silly.
yeah, I mean, I definitely do respect people who want to play that line. It's always like nice to see because they always want to be better and pushing limits the most. So.
Exactly. So we are going to be getting into game here shortly. If you're just joining us wondering why the draft took so long, there were some issues with comms between the players and the coaches while in the arena here. So they were doing the drafts off stage in the pro room so they could talk to their coaches easily. So they did the draft there, and then they were basically redrafting the same comp once they sit down to play. So that was the delay, but we are now into game here. FlyQuest on match point. Game one. A very bloody, brawly game one here. And DSG looking to try to see if they can force a game 3.
Okay, started in lane with 200 less HP for the Leona. Is
yeah,
that good, Tactical?
Yeah, that's how the matchup goes usually. You usually lose HP level 1, so as you can see now.
All right, looks like Cryogen and Masu being pretty safe here, walking the long way around. Maybe we can watch some of the 2v2 bot, talk us through kind of like what you expect to see and what you would want to see, from either side.
Yeah, so blue side just doesn't want all-ins, but they're pretty strong early, so they could definitely push for free. I'd say it's going to be pretty hard for red side, like before first 1 or 2 bases, because they just don't have enough damage to like actually all-in or enough HP because they'll get poked out.
How are you feeling about Ezreal in general these days? Because obviously it's the most popular bot lane pick by a lot right now.
Yeah, I mean, this champ's very solid. It can play versus mages, and it's pretty good in 80 carries. And not only that, you get Prow, because you're really strong early. Oh my gosh.
These Qs!
It's looking pretty rough for them.
I mean, Cryogen got that really good electrocute combo with the other Q, and then he's hitting all these bindings. Okay, so you're supposed to lose HP, but as far as how much, I feel like this is above average.
It's a bit much, I'd say. Looking very scary.
Yeah, Masu's looking pretty healthy. This is going to be tough. They get the early level 2 here, are going to be taking the push. How are you guys talking through lanes like this where, it is going bad? Like, how are you deciding kind of how much to fight, how much to give, how much CS you're okay bleeding?
I think for me personally, I just set a goal before lane starts, like a general idea, like, oh, this lane I just don't want to lose HP. Then we can fight level 3. This lane I want to like maybe push through waves and base, stuff like that. Having a general goal is good, but in lanes like these, you kind of just have to play well and dodge the abilities. So let's see how they keep doing.
And they did have their jungler. Cryo went for the 3-camp recall longsword, jungle opening here. So he's going to be on the bottom side of the map with the extra longsword. Of course, it's pretty hard to get in, especially against the Bard Ezreal that has push and has the Phaelites ward already.
Yeah, you can see Call Me actually had to take a base on 11 CS, I believe it was. He was getting hit by every single Q from Quad. Quad, known for his Cassio for a long time, wasn't really able to get it whatsoever, and now is getting to play it. Obviously, Call Me has a lot more minions there to farm. He's trying to set up a bit of a wave, a bit of a freeze for himself as Lion's going forward. Does get the stun down onto Masu. Won't force the cleanse. Cryogen trading out the heal. But it's a bit of a tough lane state now as the wave is pushing away from Sajet and Lions, and they are down on HP. But in comes Kryra, getting a good chunk down onto Quad. Post him basing, which is always going to feel really nice. As Lions going in, there's the cleanse. Lions is incredibly low already, and he's just going to get knocked down. First blood already, and Sajet looking like he's going to die as well. It is a 2v2 double kill for FlyQuest.
Scores, Tactical?
I think you just have to open at this point. Like, because what red side bot lane had to do was they had to call the jungler and push out because Pantheon was actually padding up and Lisa was padding down, but they weren't able to push out even though jungler would pad down. So this is looking. I mean, they're just going to be really sad for the whole game now.
Yeah, plus jungle shows mid when jungle is ganking mid, and so they also know where jungle exited to. So Masu and Cryogen are like, we know you've got nothing else.
Yeah. There's no bluffing or anything,
Yeah.
I mean, the wave is still also completely ruined, right? Like, that is the worst part about you get double killed. Now Griffin is down here, and they're trying to reset the wave, and Sajet is going to get the bad news. Flash is out, but there's the flash follow. There's the magical journey, and he is going right back to hell. Knocked down there by Cryogen, and the wave is still horrible. This is a disaster for DSG.
So we actually brought Tactical on for this game to, pronounce which bottom lane has died. And I think the DSG bottom lane is going to do a lot of dying.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough one, guys.
Yeah,
Okay, mental coach tactical. You know, you're gonna have to cheer him up.
I think if I was Corky right now, I'm gonna pray their monitors turn off during the game or something at some point.
Does it make you feel better if your jungler is taking their Gromp?
A tiny bit, but you know,
Big guys.
For the time being, it's okay because the punish isn't now. It's when Ezreal gets his item faster. So you still have some hope until then. Maybe they can force Dragon or something and win it and outplay them.
Yeah, the thing is, too, it's painful for the rest of the team as Griffin finds that his Gromp has been stolen and he's infuriated. The thing is, it's especially since it's Ezreal Bard lane, now Cryogen also gets a lot of time to go influence the rest of the map. One of the best roamers in the game.
Yeah, Call Me could be in a bit of trouble. Holding on to the Q. Does predict a little bit of sidestep and it does not find him. We saw those stats on the side. You know, Sajed is just not a player who's had a lot of success in lane. Generally with DSG, him and Lions have struggled. Masu and Cryogen were one of our stronger bot lane 2v2s last split. I don't know how much LCS you were watching last split, but they were, you know, getting a ton of 2v2 kills.
Oh, I did not watch, but that's pretty good to hear, though, that they're good in lane now. Because I remember towards the beginning of FlyQuest, they were known for being weaker laners. So, oh, right here.
Level 6 versus level 4 on the AD carries, and he is about to find out. Nice sidestep on the True Shot Barrage. Barely lives there from that final auto coming in from Masu. But this is painful. Down a level and a half, almost going to be a full 2 levels probably after he cleans up this wave. Masu is just miles and miles ahead. I mean, it's not just the gold. The experience is just going to make it impossible to play.
Yeah, definitely chug your potions. I think the extra early potion click is going to keep you alive there as well. And he, at least Sajed, is going to get back for some of the experience for this wave. You know, you got to count the small things. When
this Corky buy, man, is so depressing. Yeah. He's got Tier, Ruby Crystal, and a glowing moat against Sheen Tier double longsword. That's tough.
So now we're going to say you don't have to play on the losing side anymore, Tactical. You're free. If you're the bottom lane for FlyQuest, is there something beyond, okay, Cryogen, you just have full freedom now to go harass every lane as he does it again, and Masu just, you know, handle them 2v1? Or is there anything else that you're looking at? Are you already looking at any timers to swap, you know, like up to mid lane or grubs or anything?
I think since they're winning so hard, there's no need to just over-prioritize grubs. I think they should get dragons because let's say if red side Lee Sin goes to grubs and it shows randomly, then they just dove right away. Because I think getting even more behind than that is like game losing. So I think from blue side, you just want to keep matching if you can. Like for example, this dragon right here. I really hope Fly fights if they see this.
I'm kind of curious on your take. Obviously, like, in general, the meta is all about roaming for supports. But if you're winning the 2v2 this hard, do you want your Bard roaming, or are you actually looking to just stay 2v2 and punish?
They have a ward in it, so they definitely do see it.
Yeah, Cryogen has spotted Kryra. Lions and Sajed are here. In comes the Pantheon. Going to get stunned up. Kryra put low. They're trying to burst down the jungler. Masu takes him out, steals that red buff. They get the dragon as well as Lions and Sajed are sent running. Call Me going to get trained down and knocked down there by the Pantheon. It's 5-0, 3K lead. And Gakko's fighting on the top side. Might try to grab another kill for himself here too.
Okay, bottom side too. They're going in again. Masu with the red buff.
Yep, trying to take even more here as Surdy is just slowly getting lower and lower, forced to flash from the Electro Harpoon. Gakko's about to overheat. Is he going to go for it? Oh no, he harpooned and overheated. I think he thought he had enough to be able to actually get the Flame Spitter there, and he could have maybe got the kill. Now, Cryogen in some trouble. Kryra is back here, but they are just losing out in this fight. The Bard ult is going to connect there onto Lee Sin. Masu stepping forward. Taxis to the Gromp and does get out.
Yeah, I feel like Masu and Cryogen would keep on 2v3ing if Masu had any more mana, and they would just continue to chase them through their whole jungle. But Tactical, as you were saying, if FlyQuest see this, and they had a ward in the back of the Dragon Pit, but DSG also pinged that ward. You saw the red ping on it. So DSG knew they were being watched, and they continued on that Dragon with the Pantheon ult coming through.
Yeah, I mean, I think they just saw it as one chance to maybe outplay and for the fight. So they just pulled it and saw what happens. But unfortunately, they got ran. So not much to say for them. But to get back to your point about Bard roaming, I think it's fine for them to roam and hover around mid. But you definitely want to be able to fight bot at all times. So as long as the Bard is hovering between mid and bot, it's okay.
All right, I think we got a comms listening.
It's probably 3K, 2K. They don't see me.
Yeah.
It's 2K. I'm ulting now. I'm ulting now.
Behind.
I'm going
yeah,
on Lee Sin.
Syndra is down long.
We are back to live as Cryogen's looking topside. Surdy does not have his flash, but trying to get into Mega, stunned up there. And Masu with the True Shot Barrage has the damage to knock him down. Bad goes to worse as now Surdy's died as well.
Guys, how'd this Ezreal get so fed?
Call me in trouble, getting pushed back there by Quad. Will be able to run out with his Swifties and does stay alive.
That's why the top laner, you know, is like bottom lane. So where'd this come from? Where'd this problem come from, Tactical?
Oh, does tag him. Call me though. Scatter is going to be able to stay safe for now. But has no TP, is getting pushed in, and Quad is getting tankier and tankier as time goes on.
Yeah.
Is this the biggest deficit that we have had in the LCS this summer?
Might be.
I feel like it is.
We can get a stat check on that. I mean, this is a very one-sided. 4K at 10 minutes is a very tough, and Cryogen looking to see if he can push the Jet off.
Yeah, this is looking rough, chat. This is looking a little bit cooked. As well as Triforce and Corky's on only the Phage and a glowing moat.
You can't forget the moat, you know?
Yeah, it's 250 Gs, not something to neglect.
Especially when you have so little gold, you know? Every penny counts down there.
Yeah,
Jed could be in some trouble, though, as Gekos has Cryogen coming down. They're going to try to see if they can find a play. Cryer in the area, though. They are going to force a flash. There's the Tempered Fate coming down as Gekos is overheated, roasting him up. Masu and Griffin were moving over, but not going to be anything more for the play.
I mean, okay, so mid lane is open for a bit, so they can just, you know, have Ezreal come right back over here. Ezreal on Trinity Force is also going to be dangerous for Syndra. Everywhere Masu has gone, there has been danger for DSG. Started in the bottom lane, then they killed top lane.
Yep.
Now in mid lane too. Call Me's like, I don't really want to have to deal with this either. Thankfully for Call Me, at least he has upgraded Swifty boots, but top side play.
Here comes the Pantheon ult as Griffin was predicting he was going to step back, but he's going to get stunned up, and Surdy's got nowhere to go. Trying to buy some time. The heal comes through there from Lions, but he goes down anyway, and Sajed gets hit by the Petrifying Gaze, chased down by Quad. The barrier is there, but it is not nearly enough. Cryogen arrives. Lions with the sidestep, but they are just tanking up the tower and knocking him down too. 9-0, 5K gold lead, 12 minutes in.
We need to cut the stream for their mental sake, I think. This is so sad to watch. I feel bad for them.
Yeah, and this is your first time casting too. I swear it's not always like this, Eddie.
Yeah, I was hoping to talk about more team comp identities and stuff, but this is just like a stomp, so.
Yeah. FlyQuest's identity is being rich.
Yes.
And every player is rich, but especially Masu.
All right, so let's talk about LCS in general a little bit then. So you've obviously been scrumming with C9 for a while at this point.
Mm-hmm.
How are you guys feeling as C9? How are you feeling about your season so far and your chances kind of going forward?
I mean, I think we're feeling pretty good. We just have to get on the teamwork stuff.
Yep.
And I think we've been improving, especially last week. And I've been picking up a lot of habits I lost to help carry the teams. But honestly, my stage games, I've been a little nervous, especially my first one versus TL last week. I was very nervous.
Yeah.
But I was way better this week. I was like a lot less nervous and more able to like do whatever I thought was good. But if I was like in this position in this game as DSG, I'd be like really, really nervous.
Nervous and maybe sad.
Was playing against your old team, did that make it more kind of spooky? Would that make you more nervous playing against your homies? Because I always feel like if you're playing against your friends, you really want to impress, you want to look good.
I mean, a little bit. You know, I always like playing with Core, and I really hate losing to him, honestly.
Yeah.
So doing a little bit more mental battle on that. Oh, here's a play.
Surdy is behind him. Quad does not know until just now. The TP's coming in, though. And DSG just have no damage whatsoever. The Meganar is going to whiff. There's a clear on the wave. They do get the wallop stun onto Gekos. The Petrifying Gaze lands onto Sajed. Surdy is bursting down. The True Shot Barrage will not actually connect on him, so he does survive at the end of the day. It is a wash, but Masu has arrived, and FlyQuest are pushing forward, trying to see if they can find anything more. Looks like that's the end of it.
Honestly, this is a really good result for DSG. They stalled and lost nothing.
I feel like if Surdy just waited on the Meganar, though, on the TP.
Yeah, if he got the timing right, he would have gotten. I don't know if it would have been a kill, but at least a flash.
Yeah, there was an angle there for sure.
Yeah, Cassio with the Ghost Popped is very speedy, pretty hard to get with the edge.
Yeah, I was thinking he would just wait for Gekos because the Rumble arrived, right? You know, if you scoop him in right as he arrives into a wallop, plus the tower damage, maybe could have got him. but definitely is tough. And like you said, you know, hey, going even is definitely a win from this position.
Yes. Honestly, they're going to slowly reach a somewhat playable state soon, because as soon as Corki gets an item, like he got it right here, and Syndra finishes her item, that's like the strongest even matched.
Cryogen could be in a little bit of trouble, but has the magical journey to stay safe.
Yeah, see what they can do once they have these single item power spikes, at least on the carries to be able to do some damage. Maybe with some burst opportunities, but honestly, look at the map. It's so under control here for FlyQuest. I like the rotation to the top side. Cryogen as well as Griffin are moving up there.
Yeah, so Jed valking forward. Masu still maintaining that 2-level lead. It is a full 2 levels as Jed has just gotten 9 there. So up the same level as these solo laners right now is Masu, who has been getting a ton of solo XP here.
Wow, bot side. Quad knows that he is weak-sided right now while they are doing Rift Herald, so he's positioning very safely, very respectfully, as they don't have vision through their own jungle. Waits out the timer here, and now that Bard is coming down to shadow him. Now he can move in for the extra experience. It's a cannon wave, so he only lost 1 melee.
Yeah, Calmly having to retreat. Should probably be okay there with the tower around, but nice sidestep there on the Bard ult. Does get stunned up. In comes Kryra. The Pantheon ult arriving. Calmly trying to run. There's a kickback under the tower. Lions is here as well. Griffin in trouble. Flashes over the wall. Stays alive, but does finally get shut down there by Kryra, who has to flash away from Quad. Quad on the Cassio looking for more, but it looks like it will just be a 1-for-1 at the end of the day.
And during that time, it looks like Masu, the Ezreal, has gone to bully out the Corki, so mid lane's going to be wide open. They did get the 1-for-1, but the towers look like 2-for-0 here for FlyQuest, the pressure taking over.
So DSG, remember, at the end of the year, is going to have to play in the promo tourney. And you actually played against them last year in the promo tourney as well. So how do you think their chances are looking forward this year?
Well, I think this game's not accurate representation of what they could be, but it really depends on how much better they can get as a team. So.
This played pretty good for them. Kryra was able to get a nice kickback onto the Pantheon. He gets stunned to the tower, and Griffin a little bit frustrated with that.
Yeah, he flashed. I mean, at least Kryra had to flash as well when they get that counter kill on him, and they're still nursing this 6,000 gold lead. A lot of the times, though, okay, mid lane is open, so Griffin is passing through. But
so Jed may be in some trouble. Griffin gets that boost of move speed. Cryogen here as well. Looks like we'll be okay for now. Lions going to have to flash out. Kryra going in. The teleport's going to come in as well. But Lions is already dead, and the teleport's going to arrive onto the miasma. Surdy has got to run for it. 5 members here from FlyQuest.
I love the call here from FlyQuest, from Griffin. He's got this turbo-fed Ezreal, so he just runs mid lane, uses the E for the speed boost just to make an engage, make a fight happen around Ezreal, and good things are going to happen. When they do that, they also get the objectives afterwards as they're able to, lock up Lion. This support, I mean, this Leona is looking very, very squishy with how far their bottom lane has been behind, and FlyQuest with a nice little pick to progress the game even further.
Yeah, Kryra takes that in, but he is just going to die in a hurry. He was very low on HP, and the desperation starting to show a little bit here from DSG as they just feel like, hey, we got to go for anything.
This is a rough one, chat.
I swear, this feels so like the biggest sub we've had in a very long time in LCS.
Yeah.
I'm going to extend the timer even back to last year.
I agree. This one is very one-sided. especially when Tactical's like, all right, guys, DSG has to stop early game or they lose. And then 1 second into the game, they get 2v2 double kill bot. And you're like, well,
this is looking rough, guys.
It's about that time. It's getting late.
Honestly, if this was Scrim, this is one of those games where you just FF.
Probably instantly after the double kill bot, right?
Yeah, or not. Maybe you could give it a chance after that, but after like a dragon or like maybe 5 more deaths after that, it's like really like you don't see the win con like objectively. It's really hard. Like.
Gonna be tough, and I mean they are on Soul Point now as well, and it's Hextech Soul, so that's always fun.
It's funny because I was going to ask you about, so many teams, they talk about having good communication, and when their AD carry is fed, it's nice to have the AD carry communicate. What do you need so that we can win this game? And except for now the answer from you is probably like, just stay awake.
Yeah, just stay awake.
As long as you're still here and awake.
Mentally, yeah.
I think we'll win.
Surdy trying to hold on the top side here. And just give them some sort of a chance. You know, I think really realistically your only chance is that FlyQuest start to do a little bit of trolling, get a little bit fast and loose with it. You know, get a little bit overconfident.
Honestly, the only way they control is if they dive and like just horribly mess it up. Like even if someone's getting caught on side, they can make enough time where his team can come. Like they just have to dive and hope their monitors turn off or something. And like
that sounds like a challenge.
It really is.
I will say, if it's solo queue, sometimes the most dangerous games are the ones where you're up 10-0.
Yeah, it actually is true.
People, I start sweating when I see my team get too far ahead. I'm like, oh, people are not locked in anymore. Like, if I'm up 5 kills, I'm feeling good. If I'm up 10 kills, I am sweating. We're about to lose this game.
Your teammate has a bounty. Danger.
Yep. You see 4 people in a row go in with 1K bounties, you know, just running it down. As Calmy in some trouble, getting stunned under the tower. True Shot Barrage does not quite connect. The Aegis Assault is going to do the damage and finish him off. So Jet in the area, but can't do anything to help out.
Would have been cooler if the Ezreal ult killed him, though. So could have got more style
points. That cool of a kill.
Not that cool.
He needs more gold than a 2,500 gold lead, right?
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, the leads are everywhere. I mean, I want to see. I'm going to bring up the total gold. I want to see how Cryogen is doing compared to the rest of the team.
I do like
Cryogen is tied with 30. I was afraid that he might be ahead.
Okay.
That's, you know, your Gnar has more gold than the Bard. That's a dub.
Well, I think your dreams or nightmares can still come true in this game, and there might be a good chance. I would bet on that Cryogen bar moving up on that chart.
All right, what else we got? Let's see if we find some good news here.
Okay.
All right, Cryogen has done more damage than the entire enemy team.
That's a great sign.
Well, individually each one, but if you combine all the damages of DSG, oh, they can do more than the Bard.
Facts. All right. Well, there we go. So that's a plus for DSG so far. As FlyQuest 9,000 gold up here. DSG just trying to find some sort of an angle, but haven't really been able to find anything whatsoever.
I did kind of like the tactical podcast where we can start talking about the league as a whole, unless somebody dies here.
We're going to see a couple people die, I think. So Jet is going to be the first one as Masu goes unstoppable. Lions looking like he is next to fall. Lions is going to fall down. There's Gakkos arriving, flashes forward. Tempered Fake going to get flashed away there by Calmy. Will survive to tell the tale. But it is 2 more kills going to Masu, and it is Baron on the table. Cryer going to land the kickback. There's the scatter, but they have no damage whatsoever. Mikhails lands. The Magical Journey gets him out to safety. In comes Griffin flashing forward, takes down Calmy, scooping to the wall there by Surdy. But do they have the damage to get the kill? The Aegis Assault says no. True Shot Barrage will go wide onto Kryra as Lions has respawned. Surdy trying to do his best in these situations, trying to get something, but they are just getting beat down by the wallets of FlyQuest.
But they did stop FlyQuest from doing the Baron. So a lot of people died, and FlyQuest got richer, but the Baron is still alive.
That's true. It's perfect. Now Cryer can steal it.
Exactly. We got to clear out some of these wards, though, or they're going to see him coming. Nice. Good job, Lions. Genius. So I do like talking about the league as a whole, though, because it's pretty interesting. You know, last split, a lot of people were looking at top 4, but ever since MSI, you know, when with the teams returning from MSI and Team Liquid and Lion looking really, really good, how are you seeing the league kind of break out now? Do you feel like it's those top 2 teams and then like a couple of different levels, or do you think it is much closer than that, and it's more like just the top half, bottom half?
Yeah, I definitely think TL and Lion are the top 2 by far. I think hopefully, I'm hoping
C9's in there?
C9's in there too. But I think Fi is pretty solid as well. I really respect how aggressive they play. And I think Masu feels comfortable on stage to do so as well. So that's good to see always.
What size of a dog would you equate the teams to? We got to introduce you to the dog scale. So Kobe maintains that you know, the big dogs are TL and Lion, and then we got a couple medium dogs. You know?
Yeah, you're in there. You're a
medium
dog.
Okay. I'm hoping it'd be Cloud9, Fly.
Yeah.
You know, we got some work to do. Our games weren't the cleanest here, but we see Cryo going on a big flank.
Yep, Lion's probably going to die here. Scatter hits across multiple people there. Surdy charging up the Narbar. We'll see if he can find an angle. Kryra is behind him, but I don't think they care. Masu shifts on his face. Going to get kicked back into the team. There's the Tempered Fate landing in onto the Syndra. The Equalizer comes down, and FlyQuest are just charging in. Masu maybe has gone too far. Finally shut down, but it's a 5-for-1 as FlyQuest get a triple onto Quan and are going to take the soul as well.
Yeah, it's the meme. Huge kill, huge shutdown to cut the gold lead down to, checks notes, 11.6 thousand gold and the Dragon. But here's another team fight. How about this, Eddie? Take us through this team fight. Have some fun.
Yeah, I mean, Carl was looking for a miracle angle, and there's no angle, so he just lost.
And your support is dead instantly. I mean, yeah, honestly, at this point, Surdy's trying to go for quad and set it up, but quad still had flash anyway, too, and there's no follow-up damage there.
So back to the tier list. So break it out for us. Dogs. So we got, and the dogs.
Okay, okay.
Oh, I lost Holy, he just screamed it. Oh.
Okay, go Drake first.
We can go Drake first. I think we can go both.
All right, so we were saying, are you saying TL and Lion are the same tier? They're number 1 tier.
I don't know which one's better, but they're both really solid.
But they're on the same tier.
Consistent, yes.
Okay, so that's tier number 1. What kind of size dog is that? Some big dogs?
The biggest of all.
The biggest of all.
Biggest
it's like a mastiff. It's a huge dog.
Yeah,
all right,
exactly.
now what's the next tier? How many teams are in the next tier?
That's got to be you guys, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's got to be just 2 more as well. I mean, I'm looking at Fly. They're definitely looking like that kind of team right now.
They're looking kind of big right now. Yeah.
And I'm hoping it'd be us. You know, like I think we can get the leads. Just that our games might not be the cleanest.
Okay, so you guys are in there. So that's the second tier.
Are Sentinels in there with you guys or nah?
I think Sentinels is like a half-size dog down below us.
Okay. So you're like a medium plus dog, and they're just like a medium.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, perfect.
Okay. What about like Shopify? Anyone else in the hunt up there, or just a bunch of Chihuahuas?
I think Shopify could be solid sometimes. I think if they're on their game,
they got some bite.
I think they could be on the same medium as Sentinels.
Okay, so that's pretty close.
Yep. Shout out to Zazel, my go as well.
Yep, Zazel doing well. Masu going to get engaged on, does not care at all. The Tempered Fate going to connect across 2. Can he find the binding as well? Doesn't even need it as they're just getting deleted in the base. 3-man scatter buys a little bit of time there from Call Me as Surdy with a massive Mega Gnar into the wall, stuns up 4, but it doesn't even get them a kill. Quad chasing down Call Me, trying to take him out. Won't quite be able to do it. It's just 2 more kills, though, as FlyQuest have cracked the base here. 27 minutes in. They're looking to maybe just end it.
Yeah, I mean, the first game was close at many points. The second game was really not close at any point, as FlyQuest will finish up with 2 inhibitors already here at 27 minutes, and the gold lead ever increasing. We're over the 15K mark now.
All right, so DSG and Dig, are they on the same tier? Or are they on different tiers?
I think they're on a pretty similar tier.
Okay.
I'd say so, yeah.
It's a small dog tier?
Yep. Are we missing one, or was that everyone?
I think that was everyone. That was 8, right? Because we said 2. We said 2 and 4 different tiers.
Okay, yeah.
Because we had Lion TL, and then we had you and FlyQuest, and then we said Sentinels and Shopify,
and then
DSG and Dig.
Yes, yeah, okay.
Okay. So it's going to be pretty interesting. I mean, obviously 3 slots for Worlds, that's everyone's goal. And we'll see if Masu's in a little bit of trouble. He is going to be able to shift away. No. The Equalizer there to peel. Masu down about half HP. In comes the TP from Surdy. Griffin is behind them, and Kryra is in trouble. Surdy about to mega out, but he is just getting knocked down so quickly. Flashing over, trying to get the knockdown. They TP out to safety. As you know what? I respect it. May as well just get out there, protect the KDA a little bit. Tempered Fate going to connect onto Lions. He is dead as well. 26-2. 28 minutes in. This one has never been close.
It certainly has not. All FlyQuest, all game 2.
Yeah, looking like this is all she wrote for this one, as FlyQuest should be able to take the clean sweep here. Call Me and Sajed going to do their best to try to hold the line here as FlyQuest push forward, not afraid whatsoever. Magical Journey over into the base. There's the GA procced, but it's not going to matter. Call Me going to get taken down in the fountain. It's a double for Masu, 11, 1, and 9. Bot lane domination from FlyQuest as they will sweep DSG.